Live from News 9 WAOW, this is News 9 at 5:30.
A UW doctor shot and killed on campus.
That's what everybody's asking is why.
Tonight, 2 men are in custody as we hear from a former patient. Plus, the Wisconsin National Guard sends help to a senior facility as confirmed cases there rise. And despite the safer at home order, families have ignored the signs and gone on playgrounds. How that adds to the risk. Straight ahead.
News 9 WAOW, we've got you covered.
The number of confirmed cases in Wisconsin grew by 155 today. The total number of deaths now at 68. That's 12 more than just yesterday. Waushara County confirmed its first case today. Marathon County grew to 12 cases, and farther north in Vilas County, there are now 4 confirmed cases. A stark contrast from Milwaukee County, where there are now 1,148, the highest number in the state. Turning now to children in the Badger State. So far, 35 people under the age of 20 tested positive for the virus here. 8 of those under the age of 10. Many more children could carry the virus without showing symptoms, going untested. We talked to a local pediatrician who says the symptoms of COVID-19 in a child versus an adult are pretty similar. However, more often than not, children are asymptomatic, which means they carry the virus without showing the signs.
They're really young. I mean, they can have some shortness of breath, they could have some trouble breathing, but we haven't seen a large percentage of kids be very, very symptomatic. It's not that they're not necessarily getting it. Obviously they are, but they may not have very many symptoms. They could have a fever.
He also reminds you the best way to protect yourself and your child is staying home and keeping up good hygiene. But on a beautiful day like today, families want to get outside. Some go so far to tear down signs and go out on playgrounds, which are closed under the safer at home order. News 9's Amanda Lejaski is live in the newsroom with a closer look.
Local parks are open so that you can get out and exercise, but as the coronavirus continues to spread, officials say playgrounds are closed for a reason.
On a beautiful day, Alexander Airport Park sits empty. Closed until further notice, like other playgrounds in Wausau, Marathon County, and the state of Wisconsin. Here's why.
You can detect virus particles that are still alive 3 days on steel, and now they're saying that if it's cool, they may even last longer. It's like putting them in your refrigerator.
Wausau alderperson Pat Peckham says the closure is difficult to enforce, so they started with signs.
We did have paper signs up, and they weren't doing the trick.
Torn down or disregarded, so Pat found another solution.
So the mayor and I, and perhaps others, asked the park department staff to put the caution tape around to really get the message out.
He says fewer families have been out since, helping to flatten the curve.
I think we've done about all we can do. You know, it's very clear, even if you drive past a park like this, that there are caution tapes up. Stay away.
Without a lot of hands on deck to monitor each park,
we're asking families to respect the yellow tape that the Parks Department staff has placed around the equipment.
Even though the playgrounds can't be used,
they can use the parks, they can walk through.
Officials are asking for your cooperation during this time and to get creative when it comes to activities.
Again, parks are still open. However, officials are asking residents to still practice social distancing as well as staying away from the equipment. Tom, back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. Police have a second suspect in custody after the murder of a UW-Madison doctor and her husband. Officers arrested Elijah LaRue late Friday night on charges of party to a crime for first-degree intentional homicide. Yesterday, police announced they arrested Kari Sanford on similar charges. Of the two, police say only Sanford had connections to the family.
Can't even imagine somebody as kind and welcoming and warming as Beth being a victim of such a violent, senseless crime.
You just heard from Sarah Shepler. She and almost her entire family had been seeing Dr. Beth Potter for decades. She says she can't wrap her head around what happened. And now let's get a first look at the weather here.
Well, what a nice day it has been today. Actually, yesterday wasn't too bad either, a little bit cooler than today, but we didn't have much wind today. It was a great day to get out. If you could get in your yard, maybe have some activities there, including some yard cleanup, a good day to rake the lawn. Well, here's the live view into downtown Wausau. 3rd Street Lifestyle Center camera shows the beautiful sunny skies and the nice view right now. Current temperature reading in Wausau is 52 degrees. Not much wind from the south at 7 miles per hour. South wind is good, usually means warmer weather's on the way. Humidity is quite low though, at 37%. Temperature readings in the area generally in the low 50s, a few degrees warmer or cooler in some spots, but it certainly has been a pleasant afternoon. And the mild weather will continue this evening. Not much wind, eventually more clouds moving overhead, but we're not expecting any rain or snow tonight. Fairly mild with a low in Wausau at 33. Lots of variety in the weather forecast the next several days. I'll sort out all the details for you in a few minutes.
Now let's take a closer look at New York, the U.S. epicenter of the pandemic, with more than 122,000 confirmed cases and over 4,100 deaths in that state. Here's ABC's Zachary Quiche with the latest.
Military medical personnel are being deployed to New York as the coronavirus crisis deepens across the state.
We will be sending up over 1,000 medical professionals today, tomorrow, and the next day. We decided a few hundred of those would be deployed in New York City hospitals.
Governor Cuomo says that New York could be reaching the apex as the daily rate of deaths dropped for the first time, but also stressed there are still challenges ahead.
So we have to adjust that patient load among all of the hospitals, which is a daily exercise, and it's very, very difficult. We're running short on supplies all across the board.
In neighboring New Jersey, cases topping nearly 35,000. The governor there saying it's now lost more people to COVID-19 than it did during the 9/11 attacks.
Please let that sink in for a moment.
The White House Coronavirus Task Force is urging everyone in areas like Colorado, Pennsylvania, and the nation's capital to heed to warnings and stay home.
This is the moment to not be going to the grocery store, not going to the pharmacy, but doing everything you can to keep your family and your friends safe. And that means everybody doing the 6 feet distancing, washing your hands.
The U.S. Surgeon General on NBC's Meet the Press, warning of the difficult times ahead.
The next week is going to be our Pearl Harbor moment. It's going to be our 9/11 moment. It's going to be the hardest moment for many Americans in their entire lives.
Louisiana state officials say hospitals and medical staff are stretched thin. This New Orleans Convention Center has been converted to a temporary hospital.
We're not going to have ventilators, and we're not obtaining staffing from the local hospitals. We are here to augment the hospitals.
Another hotspot, Michigan. Cases in Detroit are expected to peak later this week. In Miami, as passengers begin to disembark from the Coral Princess cruise ship, officials say priority will be given to those in need of medical treatment. And in this age of social distancing, Palm Sunday being celebrated a little differently. This Virginia church offering drive-through service to distribute palms to parishioners. Zachary Quiche, ABC News, New York.
And in response to the pandemic, the Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee had already been postponed, and now there are talks of moving it completely online. Democratic candidate Joe Biden tells ABC News the party, quote, may have to do a virtual convention. The former vice president noted it would be difficult to bring tens of thousands of people to Milwaukee or any place during this ongoing pandemic.
April 2020 special session of the Senate will come to order. Without objection, the April 2020 special session will stand adjourned until Monday, April 6th. The April 2020
state lawmakers
session
refused to take action this weekend to make changes to the primary election. Governor Evers wants to eliminate in-person voting, approve sending ballots to every registered voter, and allow them to be counted until May 26th. But the session ended seconds after it started, as you just heard there. And with the election just days away, lawmakers don't have much time to make changes.
Public health officials are going to be able to find out if people have been standing in line trying to vote and they're exposed to the coronavirus. I think there's going to be some big fault going to be played on people because a lot of people potentially could be hurt and could die from this.
More than a dozen other states have postponed their primary election due to concerns over the safety of voters and poll workers. But as of right now, Wisconsin's primary is still scheduled to go on this Tuesday. An outbreak at a senior living facility in Sheboygan has the Wisconsin National Guard sending 30 citizen soldiers to help staff. At least 10 people at the facility have tested positive for COVID-19. That includes staff and residents. The National Guard members started there today, this morning actually, creating a mobile testing site and performing COVID-19 specimen collection. And if you're heading to Walgreens, you might see a few changes. The pharmacy chain is now providing face covers for workers at stores and distribution centers. That's to protect employees from the coronavirus. The company says it is also testing employees for fevers. And like other businesses, Walgreens is installing plexiglass shields to separate cashiers from customers. After the break, we're hearing from a Wisconsinite trapped on a ship and now home. But the ending isn't always a happy one. We're also hearing from the family of a Wisconsin native who died in New York City. When News 9 at 5:30 returns.